Hello.
Hi.
Hi. We're here. We're playing a game. Hi. Hello.
What's all?
Guys,
What?
our record of 140 consecutive on time, on the dot 8 p.m.s has been shattered today. 8:09. Now we're not pointing any fingers.
Uh-huh.
But it is Squeaky's fault.
No.
Without pointing fingers, of course.
No.
Well, she has a point.
That's true, actually. I didn't think about that. I didn't think about no. Guys, it's been 2 weeks. We didn't come in here last week because my tooth was killing the fuck out of me. Now it's not there anymore. I got rid of it, like everything that inconveniences me.
Yeah. Wait, why am I leaving? No, stop.
Get the fuck out of here. But no, it's gone. There's no pain. It's still weird that there's up there, and it's weird. But you know, whatever. What are you gonna do about it? I have to go back there, I think literally next Monday, so I don't know how next game's going to be. We'll be fine. We'll do it. They're not gonna do anything. I think it's just like a look-see at the rest of my mouth. I don't think they're gonna do anything next week. Either way, it's fine. We're gonna play some Zelda.
We are?
Yeah.
Yeah. There it goes. I still haven't replaced the green dice with the red dice. I need to do that at some point. I'll figure it out. It'll happen. Guys, does anyone remember what happened last time?
No.
I think we talked about like what we were going to do next after we got our asses beat. And Ganon got all revived and shit.
A lot of things that you guys talked about revolved around the dodecahedron.
Yeah, right. We were talking about like how to get more power for the Four Soul thingy, so we could use it on Ganon. And I forget who it was that said it to us. I think it was Grandma. I think it was Grandma Rova.
Yeah, it was Grandma.
That was like, it's already has all the power it can for now, or something like that. Like it works when it needs to, kind of a thing, or whatever. So we got what little power we could from the big red one into the Four Soul Gem, and we used it to make Fish Mom again. And it was really cool. Look at her. And
look at her. Anyway.
Look how neat she is. But yeah, we did that. She and Ronan had a little talk about how she feels awkward being a mom. And he's like, just go full mom mode. I don't care. I want you to. And she's like, bet. And she just like hugged him like 90 times. And it was adorable. I think then we talked to Grandma Rova. And she said all the stuff about the gem and all that. And then she also talked about how she used it a long time ago to make 4 of herself, so that she could like learn all different kinds of magics and stuff as 4 versions of herself, and then join back up and have super magic knowledge
And be immortal.
Yeah. And it didn't work out like she planned, because 2 of them decided, actually, we want to stay not you, because we like being us. We don't want to join back together. And so they didn't, and they decided that they were gonna fucking kill the other ones or something. The details after that get kind of fuzzy for me. I'm not gonna lie.
So 4 of them were there, 4 Rovas. 2 of them decided that they weren't going to rejoin, so the other 2 decided to kill them.
Okay, yes.
Yeah.
So the ones who did want to join together decided to kill them.
Yeah.
And they were like, fuck you. How about we get you instead? Right? And that resulted in heckin' Ronan's both of Ronan's parents being killed. And oh yeah, we also learned that Ronan is part Gerudo. Anyway, and fucking so they're dead now, and fucking the 2 like just the 2 Gerudos seceded and fucked off somewhere, making glass storms in the desert.
No, okay, so this is complicated. The 2 of them defeated the 2 that didn't want to join back, assimilated them inside of themselves, and then they had personality shifts because, oh, we're together again. So then they had the people inside of them that were like, oh no, we don't want to be together. So then one of them decided, hey, we should probably join back together, because if we did that, we might as well fucking see it through. And the other one's like, oh no, fuck that, I don't want my personality to change, I'm gonna get out of here and become a slime.
Right. Yeah,
so they fought to the death, and then one of them became a slime.
Okay. Yeah, so she's now in Slime Town. She is Slime Town.
Chublex.
And she started fucking up the whole forest. Y'all saw that. It was forever ago. 4 years
like
ago,
section
actually.
20 or something. No.
Not even. Like section
6.
10. Like, and yeah, I think we talked then about how we would like how we would get her and get Ganon, and how we would like block Ganon's attacks and stuff, and how we started prepping. We started prepping for how we'd fight him.
The main things that you guys got brought up, or that you guys figured out right afterwards, was that 1, you were looking for a way to potentially reflect those sword beams back at Ganon whenever he fires them at you, or to at least block them well enough. You guys learned from Ronan's mom that the dodecahedron shards, the pieces of them, have powerful reflective abilities, powerful magic reflective abilities. So if you were to, let's say, find one that breaks, then you'll be able to use that to reflect things potentially.
But what are we gonna find one that's gonna break soon?
Who knows, man? You guys also thought that, hey, since that thing is Chublex, maybe we could introduce its natural predator, the first boss of the campaign.
Right. Yes.
So
Our children
Marco and Polo coming in clutch with their fucking baby that they planted forever ago.
So
It's
that's
gonna
another
become useful.
That's another little thing. You guys also learned that their initial plan, that Rova's initial plan, was to do like this big spirit blast at Ganon to try to kill them. That didn't fall through, so they left the writings on the wall, at which point Galen went super fucking crazy mode and dragged Ronan over to it to try to fix it.
Yes.
And the final, I think, big thing that you guys discussed was whenever, I think this might have been sooner or later, I can't remember exactly when it came up. I'm trying to remember. You guys were going to ask Link about potentially things that might have happened around the Ganon stuff, and around like who, what, where, why, how the things do as they do. And Link's right over there. Look at Link over there, having a good old time, doing their best, having a great time.
You know what's crazy?
I don't remember if there's anything else. big.
What's crazy?
That like Link is just allowed to be back now because of the soul gem and doesn't have to give up the body to Jason.
Yeah, weird.
Yeah.
Good for Link. Good for Link for getting revived.
Yeah, I think that's everything.
I think so.
Yeah. Oh, and you guys learned that Chublex's main plan might potentially be to absorb Ganon in the Chew form and take them over and
Right.
become immortal.
Yes.
At which point Roba said, "That's a stupid idea. I can't believe I came up with it. I being the other me. It's so fucking dumb. I'm gonna go cringe in a corner."
Her cringy younger self.
But yeah, that's everything.
Yeah.
You guys would be coming back to this. I mentioned to you guys before, you are at the position in the video game where once you go to a certain place, it's going to be like, are you sure?
Yeah.
So you can do anything you want to before you do those things. You guys have a soft time limit at the moment. You guys know that in 2 weeks time, the door will open regardless. And you guys don't know exactly when it will do so on that day. But that is your tentative kind of time limit for what you guys want to do. Currently, you guys wanted to speak to Link or Jason or Matilda or who the fuck ever over there. Gallon and Ronan are doing this thing where Ronan just does a little song of time to reverse the etchings that were marked out by Rova, and Gallon just starts spider walking all over, licking up the runes and knowledge therein. At this point, it's up to you guys what you guys want to do. Currently, you would know Donu. You would know, because you were connected to the other two, that the other two have made it to their destinations and they are doing their things, whatever they are doing. One of which is most likely talking to the king, because that is what is going on with that one, reporting back and being like, hey, by the way, I'm dead. And the other one going into the forest and checking things out there. So what is it you guys are down for? What you want to do? What you want to get into? I'm at the mercy of you guys for like the rest of like time until you guys decide whenever, because I literally cannot plan the game that comes after, because I don't know when you guys are going to be wanting to just say fuck it, let's go into the temple. So I'm at your mercy for the next
That's right, DM.
however so many games.
The players are the DMs now. We decide our fate from here.
We should go talk to Link now, right?
Yes.
Alrighty.
The other two will be preoccupied, so
Just to ask this question in layman's terms, because I don't know how to ask it properly. Is talking to Link proceeding with MSQ?
MSQ?
Main story
quest.
Yes, main story quest currently, because you guys don't know shit about Ganon. And
I mean, it's not like that's not the point of no return. The point of no return is 2 weeks from now.
Point of no return
Okay.
is literally Polo going upstairs and going, hey, my two brothers, open this door. That is point of no return.
Okay.
Once that
Okay.
door opens is point of no
Okay.
return.
Okay.
This is still
all
prep
right.
phase.
Then Polo will go along.
You guys make your way. Let me move this over here so I'm not sounding echoey. You guys make your way over toward the three faces of Zelda, which are none of them are Zelda.
Yeah.
As you guys make your way over toward the three faces of Zelda that aren't Zelda, currently with Koro with you guys, because Koro has been basically told to by Gallon to not like get in trouble, but also not like be around whenever he's doing things, and he's like, I can just do that, you know, you don't have to trick me. At the moment, Koro makes their way over, sits down next to the sleeping gigantic fucking Dwayne The Rock Johnson, and is just sort of petting on it.
Yeah.
At this point, people have separated their ways. Rowana, after talking with Rova and learning literally about how they and potentially their lover died, they're going back over here to bench press Don some more.
He's like, I thought I was free. No.
The rest of you are all together currently. There is a bit of a there's a bit of a pile over here, and by pile I mean Link is standing in front of Matilda, who is clinging on to Jason. As you guys approach, Link does turn toward all of you. So I was able to hear every couple of words or so.
Yeah.
Good to hear.
What is it you want to know?
I'm currently standing at nothing. You would like to rectify this.
I'm not really sure what I can tell you that'll be too important to you. The main be-all end-all is that we need to defeat them. We've always had to defeat them. I've always went at them with the Sword of Evil's Bane, otherwise known as the sword that destroys the darkness, but every time I've slain Ganon in whatever form that they take, they just come right back. The very first time when it all happened, they had erupted out from demise after I had slain them. I was only a kid when it did go down, and whenever I had first seen them, they had taken over the 4 generals. Well, 4 technically. One of them wasn't a general any longer. I'd already taken that one down before, but the other 3 I got through as a child without having to really worry about them too much. In the end, it took the better part of 7 or so years, if not a little bit longer, but I was able to slay, well, Ganon, and in doing so, thanks to the different peoples that I had talked with, thanks to the mortal goddess ascending to the way she did, I was able to do so without harming the 3 generals that were remaining. When it came to the 3 of them, Ivori, Thorag, known now as Gorthos, and, well, you guys have met Valcircuit. Oh God, I was trying to think. I'm like, where? You guys have met Valcircuit. They were all in their own ways sort of already killed. Ivori themselves was the hardest because I didn't wish to take their life, but Valcircuit took his own life whenever he dive bombed and destroyed the desert, and Gorthos was already sort of dead. But I went out of my way to hopefully find ways of allowing them to go forward, and because of that, it ended up taking my life at the time. But when that did happen, I was gifted essentially eternal life by the mortal goddess. The first real act that they did as a goddess was make it to where I was able to bring myself back throughout the generations and have a semblance of the life that I never had. Unfortunately, Ganon did the same. Demise as well, to an extent, but Ganon mostly was the one that did the same. He followed me through every life that I had, and the only times I ever had any sort of reprieve from it was whenever Gorthos was still around. It seemed that whenever all of the different 4 generals were out and about doing their things, Ganon couldn't manifest. But anytime there wasn't a Gorthos, anytime there was one less, he was able to leak through the cracks.
Potentially, now they are not.
That brings us to where we are now. Whenever I had spoken with Gorthos shortly after coming back into this form. Thank you, Jason. Yeah, it's still weird. Now that I'm in this form, and thanks to coming back in the way I did, whenever I spoke to Gorthos, they had said something about this potentially feeling like the last time. This worries me, because if this truly is the last time, or feeling like it was the last time, then most likely that means, oh, there's the heavy music, thank you. Most likely that would mean that he would reappear every time I take him down, or anyone takes him down. If there's not Gorthos out there, we either have to truly defeat him this time, or he will continue to come back again and again.
Well, I can confirm that this was, well, he assumed, considering everything, to be his final life. If we cannot find a way to resurrect him, there really will be no further Gorthos in this world, and, well, who knows what Avorian or even Volcircuit's alive. Is there a way to kill it forever? A permanent solution?
I've never found one. Every time that I come back, I'm missing a little bit more of me. But eventually, I'm reminded of it. Eventually, I do remember me. This time, I was able to remember me basically from the on-site. But if the Sword of Evil's Bane can't do it, I don't know what can. We have a lot of different ideas on how to take out Chublex, on how to destroy him, at least for the time being. But unless we can find a way to end the cycle, it's for naught.
Had to read this information before. Perhaps you three could have asked the Golden Goddesses about this.
Yeah.
I'm
It kind of
sort of afraid. I'm sort of afraid what their answer would be, to be honest. From everything I know about the Golden Goddesses, upon being around for as long as I have, they would most likely take the most practical way of dealing with Ganon, which would be potentially getting rid of this world.
Technically solves the problem, but presents new ones.
Not for them. That's what I'm worried about. I don't want to bring them into it.
We couldn't ask him anyway, so not much point thinking about that. But I can't remember, as Eric speaking,
Yep.
were there specific questions that we wanted to ask Link? I feel like there were, and I just do not remember them.
If there was anything else you guys wanted to know beyond what you've already said here, I don't know.
Yeah, I'm asking the players if anyone remembers what those were, if we had any.
I don't know if you did, but
Okay.
if anybody can think of any.
Maybe I'm misremembering.
I know you guys had wanted to ask about different things you were wanting to know. I mean, one of them potentially being anything that they could know about actually destroying Ganon, which is what you guys just asked.
Yeah, we just did that.
But I don't.
Maybe that was what I was thinking of.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's fine.
How much do you actually know about the Master Sword? Its construction, what it can really do. We know it repels evil, divides it now, but is there anything else?
They look over toward where Jason is, then they look back over toward where Marco is. There's not supposed to be two of them. That's one thing. There never has been more than one. As far as the idea of it, I've defeated Ganon before without the Sword of Evil's Bane. It's usually better to do so, even if it is just severing or splitting. They usually come back lesser than whenever I defeated them, or at least they don't come back stronger.
What do you mean they don't come back stronger?
There was one time that I fought Ganon. They were more crafty. They were in the visage of a different being. They weren't the large creature we saw. They were someone of similar build to Koro here. Me? At that time, they went by the name Ganondorf. They were honestly, the most terrifying version of him. All of the rage and all of the malice, but they had power beyond that. They had people beyond that. They were able to manipulate the beings around them. They essentially had me thrown out of Hyrule. No, we go back to the Bloodborne music. Fuck you.
Yeah, Bloodborne.
We go back here. They were beyond me. If it weren't for the fact that I got gifted powers that I shouldn't have had, there wasn't anything that I could have done to stop them at that time. Whenever they were here before, something was odd whenever you spoke with them before. They said that they were looking forward to seeing Gorthos. When they did, when they said that, it didn't sound like the monster Ganon. It sounded like the cunning Ganondorf.
We have a conniving beast of ultimate destruction. We already knew our work here was not going to be easy.
I have a question. And maybe we've talked about this before. We talk about a lot of things. But doesn't his sword do some special stuff? Like, didn't it do something to Gorthos? Like the old Gorthos?
It was meant to kill gods.
It made him more.
Games.
It made Gorthos immortal. If he was not struck with that, I think he might have been just another lifetime, like any other.
Is there any way we could use that on him?
Use the sword on himself.
Or we take it from him somehow?
I remember
pretty
whenever
big,
Gorthos was
but-
fighting against that creature, he was unable to disarm it from them. But that was the Moblin, not this Ganon. Didn't the blade sort of look different?
It looked a little different.
Like it was,
Had,
yeah, like it was melting in his hands.
Mm-hmm.
Is that normal for Ganon? Do things melt when he holds them?
I've never seen anything like that, but something about it was odd. I was right in front of it when it happened. Jason steps forward.
Or your observations, then?
Well, It was sort of like what happened whenever I pulled the Master Sword the first time. What?
The Master Sword melted?
No, not really. It sort of rejected me at the time. But I didn't stop. I kept trying and I kept trying, and eventually it allowed it. But the more I tried, the more it sort of, I don't know, felt like it was rejecting being held by me.
And you think the same thing was happening with him?
It looked for a moment whenever he pulled that from the corpse of the moblin that it sort of pained him. Pained him.
Huh.
A moblin. It would boast constantly that it was not Ganon. And it rejected those that would turn it into a slave. Turn it into Ganon.
Then perhaps the blade is not truly Ganon's? Perhaps it will not protect him in the same way?
It's the nameless moblins. Perhaps we could disarm him.
But we don't have anyone big enough to wield it, though.
We might soon.
We do have these. And he holds up his arms.
You do have your silver gauntlets.
They're pretty good. I don't know if they could lift that, but
Ronan's pretty big, and I'm pretty big.
we have some
Well,
pretty
that
big
makes-
people here.
You're pretty
If
big,
we-
points to Donu.
If we work together,
Yeah,
I'd be able to do it.
Disarming it is one thing. I did not mean we can wield it. If it rejected Ganon with all of its power and he still holds on to it, are we capable of surviving that too? It's
I
not the
mean-
moblin had any love for us.
Depending on how it goes with rescuing or reviving Gorthos, I could still trick that thing into thinking one of us is at least the Moblin, maybe. It should still technically be a magical item, right?
I didn't think of anything else than that.
But that's really relying on that continuing to working with a
We
You
should
know.
have a backup plan. You're right.
exactly.
I am actually glad you brought that one up, Marco. A thought has been brewing in my mind for some time. But not that I wish to dower people's spirits and hopes for our plans here, but we have 4 separate accounts, all of those who've witnessed this jewel's power. 2 of them being our own eyes, 2 Evori and Rovas. All this jewel's ever done is make a copy of another person. How can we guarantee this will not make 2 Ganons?
Oh, the same way it didn't make 2 Jasons or 2 Links.
Pretty good point.
It can differentiate. We'll be able to know what we want to pull from it.
I don't
think
know about
mean-
that, but whenever I got pulled out of me, Jason looks over. it felt like it was bringing me out specifically. It felt like, I don't know, like I was awakening from a long nap more than anything. I didn't feel fractured or I didn't feel linkish.
Well,
Whatever that means.
It just means that I have to focus really hard on bringing Gorthos out and nothing else.
There's that other further thought of a 1 in 4.
We're already
generals.
going to be pushing the whole tricking an immensely powerful item into thinking you can use it thing to its limits. Let's focus on that
Exactly.
power for the gem.
I don't
Yeah.
believe that the curse will survive doing it with this incredible magical item and literally the most evil, powerful thing I've ever seen, the world has ever fucking seen. I'm pretty sure something bad's gonna happen to me when I do that, full stop.
It is not it's a non-zero chance, I will be honest with you. We have no idea what we'll do.
Hey, here's an idea.
Ah,
Gallon
Gallon.
comes down.
Oh my god! He's Gavin Gannon.
Gallon
It was
comes
Ganon
down.
the Fucking.
Gallon comes down from the wall, soaking in all of the runic knowledge that he possibly can, as he makes his way over. Here's an idea. What if the moblin isn't dead? Well,
What?
dead.
I mean,
If we're talking about that thing rejecting him, I mean, it didn't do it in the same way that Link's thing did, right? Or Jason's? Jason. It didn't do it in the same way Jason's did. It seemed to just sort of let him still hold it, but go against him. With Jason's, it wouldn't even let them pick it up, right? What if the moblin's in that blade?
I mean, it wouldn't be the first time something soul went into another object or substance like the tubelix.
At which point,
Yes.
it doesn't really matter if we trick it or not. We can just let it know that we're here to beat the crap out of that guy. Though it might
I
still be
mean-
pissed that we're the ones that sort of let it happen.
It
we can
kind of
apologize.
We can apologize to it.
no. It was still an evil monster.
I don't think it's going
I
to care
know-
about
I
that
know
part, though,
I'm not
Marco.
saying we mean it. I'm saying we apologize to it.
We apologize for letting it become Ganon. I see.
Look, we were just trying to kill you, not turn you into Ganon. It'll go over real well.
Yeah.
I don't think it will.
And once you guys
No.
get that sword away from it, I blast it with whatever this is. Motions back toward the wall.
Oh, do you still not know?
I have no, I'm still, they walk over to it.
Okay. you keep going at it.
Shouldn't you be using those like really fast reading glasses or whatever, or was that just for books?
I can see it all just fine. It's not a reading issue, it's an understanding issue.
If, if only open lines of communication were a thing in this time.
If only she would come down here and tell me what it means.
Fuck you!
Ganon just
So-
I keep saying Ganon. Gallon just sort of sits down in front of it, staring up at the wall.
So, I mean, it sounds like the sword might be a good shot. We just got to figure out how to get it from him. So, cut off his hand, maybe.
Like
Whether-
copious amount of force.
Whether or not it's the blade rejecting us or the spirit inside the blade or whatever is going on, whether or not those things are happening, we can just sort of hope one way or the other we can mess with it. That being said, this would not be the first time that Ganon has been done in by something like this.
Yeah.
By what about this exact?
Well, you just got me thinking about it whenever you mentioned that moblin didn't have a name. I remember one of the times I defeated him, he had a sword, and that sword had a name itself, named Girahim.
I see you canonizing that.
I mean, were we expecting it not to be called Girahim?
I mean, I've named all the other ones.
Yeah,
different
exactly.
names.
Like,
I'm just saying, I'm letting you know you are.
what? Ganon has a sword. It must be Ganon. Like,
The more we talk
I've
to
only
Link
literally-
and Gorthos, the more we learn that every Zelda game is kind
Canon.
of canon.
They're not.
Every single-
Look, they're not canon. It just happened differently.
Just everything that happened in them also happened here.
It's not that they're canon. It's just things happen.
happen.
Look, it's like Final Fantasy. Same names, different shit.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The only thing not
Now go
canon
find
here,
Sid and fly around.
The only thing not canon here
Let's
is
go.
Twilight Princess.
No, let's go find Impa. We gotta go find Impa.
That's
We don't
true.
have
You
an
never
Impa.
found Impa. That's true.
Impa is Zelda's Sid.
I mean, I'm just
You're
gonna.
welcome.
I miss poor old Lady Impa. Sucks she died last year.
You know, knowing you, Nico, Impa is the parent of the fucking of the twins.
Now it turns out that was Roki's actual name.
Ha!
Impa's
That's
fish.
their
Oh, did
last
you-
name. Kira and Roki Impa.
Oh, are you talking about our grandmother?
Graham Impa.
Anyway.
My God.
So there's a shot. I'd say it's worth it. I'd say it's worth a
We
go.
have a plan, yeah. We just have to get to him, disarm him somehow, and find one of us capable of wielding and or tricking the spirit into wielding just long enough for us to stab him through. And then we finish him off with the Sword of Evil's Bane.
With 2 swords of Evil's Bane.
Whichever
Hopefully
one.
Listen, if we hit him with both of them at the same time, maybe it'll just get both him and his soul thing that revives or whatever.
Look, we're hoping to use the other sword to destroy the soul revival thing.
All that's left then is to prepare for the fight. You get potions, get whatever
I think we're
other-
going to need a lot more than potions. If this is going on the way we think it is, Obra looks over toward the rest of you. I can only assume that this is going to be a decently large-scale attempt. We should probably, more than potions, gather allies.
That is also very true.
We don't know exactly what's going to be going down. However, I think that potentially we can let the people we have met with know that the stakes have never been higher. There's been a point where I'm like, let's not overdo the kindness of our allies. Let's still give them their dues. I think we should talk to every single one of our craftsmen and merchants as well and tell them that we need their things.
If we fail at this, it does not matter what goodwill we keep in reserve. It'll
This
all
is a fight
end.
everyone needs to kind of pitch in for. Everyone who can, at least.
I think if it's anything to any of you, I'm going to go and speak with your brothers, Polo.
Hello.
I was on mute. Oh, damn it. Yes, of course.
I'd like to learn more about this place we're going into, and if it truly is something that's going to respond to you, then potentially we can figure out some way to magically aid us in that place.
Mm-hmm.
If
Right.
it's some kind of magic item, then, well, we witches have to put our heads together for it.
From what I had heard, it is an item within an edifice, like a conduit.
I'd like to learn everything I can about it, if they're willing to tell me.
Of course. Yes, you, here. If you give them Hermes, then maybe they'll know that I have allowed you to.
Oh, the baby.
The baby.
They take Hermes. They look at Hermes, who is at the moment trying to snap at them. Ah, the baby.
Ooh, yummy fish.
You will get on. You will get on. You will. Anyway.
Hold on. We got this. Hold on. Okay, we gotta turn him a little bit. You gotta turn him.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Hold on, he's a little crooked, but there we go.
Perfect.
There you go.
I'll bring this one up there then.
Mm.
You know where to find me. They look over to Ronan as they say that. Yeah. They will start making their
that's
way
my
up.
head tail.
She's right. So
So we should probably stop off by the Smiths then, and we should probably gather up some of that that what's it called, the dodeca thingy, the thing, the big thing, red thing. We should probably gather up some of that and bring it to them so they can make like some stuff out of it, right?
It hasn't broken yet.
We
You want
just
to
have
keep using it until it breaks?
You could
I mean, we
attempt.
do-
You could attempt to try to put power back into the Four Soul Gem again, since you do
We know that
hope you do hope to use it.
Yeah.
Yeah. We can go do that and then figure out how many pieces it breaks into. Do you think it's going to be just big old chunks, or is it going to like magically turn its chunks into like smaller dodecahedrons?
I would anticipate it would
carved.
explode. I would expect it to explode in a shrapnel storm of sharpened whatever that material is.
Fun.
Yep.
It will not be.
We can hope that we don't get too hurt from it.
Alrighty then.
I'm gonna go try to speak with Zelda.
Okay.
Link
Is she
will
awake?
look over toward Donu and then look back at everyone.
She's awake.
I don't know. Is that something
Yeah.
that you are interested in?
I have questions for the mortal goddess. Maybe she will finally become transparent in her answers. The memories I have of Gortho, she is unnecessarily vague.
On your honor, Great Donu, I listened to your request. However, if you're going to speak to them like that, you should probably think about what you're saying first. To them, you may still be Gorthos.
I will consider my questions more carefully.
Less your questions and more just way of speaking. I'll go there now. You can come after me. After a while, okay?
Nods.
Link will make their way away.
The unforeseen burden of having to beat the sapiens again. He looks to a lot of you. Is it still difficult?
Not think of you as Gorthos? A little. I'll be honest. But I'm also aware that you're also you.
I think it is because you are still in that form that it is quite not sunk in, as they say.
I do not possess the same gift of him. I cannot shapeshift.
It doesn't need to
But-
sink in. We're gonna save him.
Mm.
And then all
Yeah,
of you
what
guys
do
are
you
gonna
do?
run around. It's gonna be like 4 Gorthoses or whatever.
Hmm.
I anticipate that my consciousness will be subsumed by Gorthos upon his re-entering. I do not find a problem with this. I have already lived my life.
That ultimately depends on how he comes back out. Should we start taking bets on if he becomes like a demon, or if he becomes like another skeleton?
Mm.
I have never been one to really stake out of wagers. I am not my brother.
I was mostly trying to lighten the mood.
You just hear
Oh,
from upstairs.
I understand.
You just hear like an echoey from far upstairs.
God,
Someone talking about betting? Someone talking about betting?
No.
Wager!
Wager! Betting!
No,
I
you can calm down.
It just fucking hits them like Crocker's fairy godparents.
I haven't had a good wager in a long time.
I think that there's a chance he might come out with flesh. That will be the most disconcerting outcome.
I mean, I guess it just depends on maybe how Gorthos would see himself.
I've never been lit by the gem, he used to say.
Hmm. I recall Gorthos' history properly. He was never a being of flesh, was he?
From what I no longer have access to his entire library of memories.
Gorthos has always just kind of been Gorthos.
That I understand to be true.
And I'm sure that's how it'll come back out too.
It is
No matter
around.
what,
Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, no matter what, it'll still be Gorthos.
Yeah.
It is around here that there is a shifting happening in the center of the room. You guys see the small basin you guys have brought over to Argo has somewhat let off a bit of a strange glow as Argo looks back to you guys. You guys might want to see this.
Oh no. That means it's super serious.
No.
Oh yeah,
Not that phrase.
I wanted to do that so bad.
Phrase of all the phrases you could have used, Argo.
Guys, you should take a look at the.
It's right behind me, isn't it?
You guys would make your way over to where Argo is.
What?
Physics is funny.
As you do, you guys see a small pale red glow coming from the basin, where as you look to it, it appears to be a small little bits of it from all over Hyrule. As you guys are looking down on what you could only imagine is an overhead map of Hyrule, if only you had one.
Shame.
Argo has it right here.
Oh, that's crazy.
In
You
real
guys-
time, it's shifting.
You guys would find several places throughout Hyrule. Here. 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 And here. As well as some places from off map, looking like it is coming slowly from both the east and the west. You guys see again this pale red looking color. As Argo zooms downward toward the one nearest where Castletown is, you guys would see from that area a mass of bokoblins and moblins, looking as if they're starting to move around the forest.
What?
As he goes out and zooms back down into Death Mountain, you guys see Dodongos and Lizalfos on the move. Going over toward the western sections, you guys see even more bokoblins. But as more than that, you see Wolfos, you see Sculptulas making their way forward. And as you look down into the desert, you see what appears to be an army of monsters, Chews, Lizalfos, others, looking as if they are getting ready to go. Near the back, a small battalion of what seems to be those same puppets, as well as the iron knuckles that they would be inhabiting. At the very back of this one is where you see what appears to be a certain iron knuckle that you guys did not speak with.
The Bloodrust General.
You see most of these creatures moving forward, making their way. For a lot of them, you can't really tell where they're going, but as you look toward the ones making their way from Castletown, you see them seemingly going straight upwards towards, potentially, Spectacle Rock. As you look to them, they're moving rather slowly. It looks as if they are moving in a way that it is going to take them quite the number of days, if not weeks, to get to their destination, especially if they're all gathering together. But you do
together
see
on
this.
foot and around the forest, not through it.
They're not going through the forest now.
That makes sense. They just get lost.
They know better somehow.
You do see that it looks as if there is a large gathering of monsters happening. That again, as far as Argo can tell, it'll take a few weeks potentially for them to all get together. But who knows exactly how quick they would be able to manifest. They are nowhere near any of the major settlements at the moment. So you don't have to worry about any of that except for Castletown, but Castletown's already completely fucking evacuated. As you guys see the monsters closest to Castletown, again, moving around, it seems, the forest.
They're going that way around the forest?
They are. And that's why whenever, Marco, you bring this up, you note they appear to be staying just above where Castletown is. There are no things in Castletown for them to have to worry about. Nothing's going to kill them. But they appear to be just above where the castle would be. You guys know the spot. You guys have been there several times.
Right.
Mhm.
There was also an exploding link there at one point.
Yeah.
As it looks like all these monsters are gathering potentially to the north of Castletown to move on to where you guys would be, Argo looks back over toward all of you. I wouldn't have even noticed, but it looks like they're being manipulated by the same kind of power.
This implies that this power can influence the entirety of Hyrule.
I think it might be the Triforce.
It does not have all three pieces.
I think it's just the one we didn't find. The Triforce of Wisdom.
The one that's not broken.
So this is the power of an unbroken Triforce.
Whenever I saw it spike upwards, I saw it coming from Volcircuit's place. You see him zoom downwards now that he actually has a thing to focus in on. You guys see standing atop a ruined castle, like ruined fortress like structure. You guys see what appears to be Ganon and Chublix standing. As you look, he is holding up his hand, just like what is on the back of Polo, Marco, and Ronan's hands. You guys see a shimmering golden triangle.
Yeah, we need to start rounding up allies.
From
We
the
still
way
have
that,
two
from the way
pieces.
everybody's moving, it still looks like it's going to take them quite a while. But who knows who knows what they're going to do once they feel that door opening, though. For now, it doesn't look like it doesn't look like they're in that much of a hurry. But as soon as that door opens, they might redouble, or even just go there. From what we know of what Rova can do, I'm decently sure that Chublex might be able to do that too.
And probably technically even stronger with what we've seen the Chublix can do.
Either way, we can assume that once we open the door, like what you guys thought, things will speed up. But as of right now, we've still got a little bit of time.
Yeah.
The one thing that's weirding me out is in the desert. It looks like most of the monsters are on the move, but that small battalion of Iron Knuckles seems to still just be standing there. I've looked all the way through all the Gerudo City, the capital city that they have. I've also looked at the original Gerudo City, and doesn't appear to be anything there. Nothing reacted to the Triforce being activated then. I don't think
Wait,
there are any enemies in there.
Oh, so they're not empty. They're just not full of enemies.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't think there's any enemies in either of the Gerudo towns.
That's good. We should definitely go to the chieftain as well soon.
Bringing Kuro down will be the best course of action for the Gerudo.
Yeah.
But guys,
But what?
he's just still motioning toward the wall.
Not right this second.
Yeah, you got time.
Okay.
Don't worry,
Just
champ.
try
We're
to
not
make it
trying
as
to-
quick as you can.
We're not trying to take you away right this second, okay?
I'm learning as fast as I can.
Okay, well, keep doing that, please.
It's clear that Ganon is going to rally towards Castletown and
Well,
crush us
towards-
underneath an endless wave of demons and monsters.
Why would he go there?
Why would they not be marching somewhere else if that's not their rally point?
Oh, you mean they're going to gather there and then march?
I
from
feel like
Russia?
if they march or gather anywhere else, they have a chance of things finding them and killing them.
Yeah.
Exactly.
They don't want to lose any numbers before they actually fight.
Are the north and south borders of the map glowing at all?
Nope.
Or is it just the east and west?
The northern area does not appear to have anything glowing at the moment. Just the western river and desert, and the eastern like marshlands over here. The southern area does not appear to have anything, because you know that entire lake is apparently sacred. And
right.
from the north, it doesn't seem like anything's coming down.
That doesn't. That's odd. Why is there no glow coming from the demon lands?
If I had to make an assumption, the new demon god could be protecting his demons from the influence of Ganon.
There's almost a small voice in your head whenever that's said, Polo, where you just feel like you hear, "You're welcome."
Yes, that is actually quite what the factor is.
Because you guys, I'm gonna go ahead and say this out of character so you guys know what you did. Because you guys did issue a new demon god in these lands, the demon race is not going to be able to be manipulated by the Triforce of Wisdom.
Woo!
That's
If
fucking
you
awesome.
didn't,
Yeah, we'd be having a whole other conversation.
Man, hi. Hello, brothers. What are you doing down here? Oh no, you're killing everyone.
Oh, is that a civil war? That's not good.
Oh, that's that score. That score of my whole friendship group. Oh no,
I wonder how that
they're
would have
killing us all.
I wonder how that would have affected me.
potentially would have had some problems.
Well, thank
But you also
goodness
have a
we don't to worry
Triforce,
about
so-
it.
In the worst case scenario, you would be dealt with non-lethally.
Well,
God.
thank you for the reassurance.
You are welcome.
So,
That means, though, they have some protection against Ganon's influence.
very good. That means we can ask some of them for help over in the manor. And Vega and Hadar.
Running like
This is
M
good to
Vega,
know.
I guess.
He softened up a little bit on Vega.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, for now, for this moment right now, we should talk to the Smiths, I think.
Yeah, this hasn't really
Right after
changed
that.
much of anything as far as what you guys have to do, I don't think.
Yeah, now we just know kind
they
of where they're
are.
going and where to avoid having people go.
Thank you, Argo.
Thank you very much.
I'll keep an eye out on everything, just like I was doing before.
Mhm.
Whoa,
Gives
you
him a
guys gotta see
pat on the
this.
back.
No, not that one. Whoa, come here, guy. No, that's not it. Sorry,
Just
I'm
waiting for-
practicing. I'm practicing for when this happens again.
I think the first one was really good. You nailed it.
Oh hell yeah!
Yes.
Yeah, let's go.
I've only
also,
known her a short time, but you're just like your grandmother.
Also, if you guys are going to the desert at some point, you let me know.
You wish to go speak to the Gerudo women.
I not specifically. I didn't get to go last time, and I was thinking maybe I could use that magic pool you guys saw.
Yeah.
You think it'll have
But
some,
also
like, special...
potentially I could talk with the Gerudo chieftain.
There it is.
I mean, Argo, I'm just gonna say, technically, she should be at our house at the moment.
She is not.
She's not. Damn.
That's
I
just
forget.
where their token is.
I think our house is mostly... It has the Smiths
I
and
actually
it has
moved
like a
them
handful of other people.
Yeah, a lot of people have moved about and moved around. They were there. I guess I moved them at some point. But yeah, a lot of people are moved off and about at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
Alrighty.
There they all are. I put them over here. Look at all these tokens over here.
Wow, look at all those tokens.
Look at all those tokens.
There we go. Had to turn around to the back to do the arrows.
Right. Let's begin our journey then. We must prepare.
Here we go.
And Elnath isn't going anywhere.
Yeah, we got to get him fixed up too. But
Oh
we'll do
right, that was
after.
a thing you guys were talking about before about going and collecting some bones from the from under the forest as well.
Yeah.
With all that being
One thing
said,
at a time.
yeah.
Exactly.
At this point,
Priorities.
you guys know that you are just coming from the big happenings that had happened. If you would like to immediately start moving off toward trying to talk to people, you can. You guys could also take the day after your big fights that just happened and sort of rest up for tomorrow to go and do things. It is up to you.
We do have 2 weeks of time. Or until your brothers decide they are bored. Whichever would happen first.
I don't think they
No,
would do
but-
that. I don't think they would do that to Polo.
The
Oh,
decision
Mum.
is ultimately mine. They could go into the dungeon, but they cannot use it. If what they said is to be believed.
I will trust yours and your family's judgment.
I also trust my father's judgment. Yes.
My bones have not turned to dust, though that does not mean much. Perhaps it might be best to rest a little bit.
Okay. Yeah.
I just casually looked over at Ronan's singular heart and his several levels of exhaustion.
Oh yeah.
It's fine.
He's really holding on to it, you know. It's around this point you guys like Marco, after you notice that, you just see Ronan like, yeah, everything's fine, guys. What are you talking? Everything's fine, guys. What's going
Where'd that
on?
come from?
Oh, hey, look, my blood. That kid here. What are you doing outside of me?
Oh, that's my blood. I thought that was just a piece of my armor that had fallen off. Oh no, it's everywhere. And liquidy. Why did I think this?
At this point, we are going to start things off for going off and talking to peoples and doing things for each day that you guys are going to be having some extra stuff going on. Starting with tonight, I will go to each of you. One of 3 mini Gorthoses,
Hey,
Marco, Ronan, and Polo. Where would we go this night? Where would you guys like to go and get your rest and or talk to your peeps and or whatever you are doing? At this point, anything you guys do is considered rest as long as you're not working.
Yeah.
As long as you're not attempting to make or do something.
I think Ronan wants to go talk to Jason.
You definitely can do that. Jason is here. It's also like within your range of walking at the moment.
It's true.
You can hobble over that way.
We're gonna get there. Don't worry.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. Ronan's gonna go speak with Jason. What about the rest of you? What is the night of the first day? What are you doing? Quote unquote Gorthos. You can choose any of your 3 bodies, but you can only choose one of them to follow.
Right. I think that for this night, Donu's gonna do what Donu does. What a Donu should do. He's going to not do anything. He's going to rest, but he's going to go rest standing vigil outside the Mortal Goddess's wherever her room is. As a guard dog, you see. Douglas, however, is going to do something tonight.
What is Douglas doing?
Assuming he's already delivered his report to the king, he's going to go crack open. Well, he's going to. The safest place, the place with all the most recorded history we know of that is recorded, is actually in Gerudo Town. So
it's hard to figure out what to do without working, huh?
Yeah. Yeah, I can't think of much else besides research, but I don't know if that counts as work.
That's decently working. I would say that the 3 bodies, while they are in decent health, they came from a moment of not having very good health. The 3 of them would need to rest, despite not having any lungs or organs or anything.
Yeah, no, I don't understand how it works either.
So it would have to be some kind of a role play moment. It can't be some kind of
I
work.
understand. I see. I didn't think that would count. Okay, my brain is on the same wavelength as yours.
Yeah.
And scratch what I said. Donnie wants to talk to Zelda.
Okay.
He had time to think.
We'll have you go after where Link went.
Atlanta will probably pass out in a wine and cellar somewhere, literally somewhere. And Douglas does whatever Douglas does.
Polo and Marco?
Yes.
Right now, Polo's intent is to rest. She has something in mind, but she needs to know. She needs a map.
Is there anything roleplay you'd like to do tonight?
Role playing wise,
Talking to any of the NPCs, talking to any of the player characters.
Off the top of my head, I don't think anything she wants to do involves a PC or an NPC.
Okay. You could just rest for the night.
Yeah. She would. Well, I don't know if WitchCon has any rooms or anywhere she could rest.
You could always go back to either the Demon Manor or to your house.
Yeah, she'll go back to the Demon Manor. She'll see maybe they have a map there too.
Marco
is going to go around and try to find Hosier.
Okay.
And have a conversation with him.
Okay. You would know that Hosier would most likely be going over where the king would be at.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Let's go ahead and go to each of you and see what happens there. I'm going to start off with Polo, because I'm not sure exactly what may or may not happen here. Going over toward the Demon Manor. Could just be walks in, goes to bed. Could be other things.
Never know. I tend to fucking yap.
You do tend to yap.
This
Go
is not lost
on
to
and
any of
on.
This is not lost to any of my fucking characters.
Polo.
Mm-hmm.
You make your way to the underground of the Demon Manor. As you do, you look about at the different areas that are there. Obviously, that is where most of the sleeping will be done, down in the basement area of this. I don't know if we still have that map. We probably do.
The sleeping areas, I don't think we do. I think it was just a black board, and then we just kind of doodled some squares and called them rooms.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we didn't have we didn't have a definitive rooms map.
But that is basically where you're coming up from. You know you can make your way right back down whenever you are going off and about. You would, if you're looking for a map, you would make your way up toward where the others would be. You remember whenever you came here earlier, that Astaroth was guarding the master bedroom, with the other three just sort of thrown in onto the largest bed that is there. If you would like to make your way there, you definitely can.
She will probably make her way once she becomes aware that, oh yeah, there's probably other people here.
Yeah, if you were looking for a map, I would say that'd be the place where you'd have to go, is go and ask somebody.
Yeah, exactly.
Polo, you make your way over toward the master bedroom. As soon as you get over to it, you do find that Astaroth just sort of opens the door as you approach. You would know that because demons, they probably smelled you coming a mile away. As the door opens, she does look over towards you. Hey, welcome. Oh, welcome. Welcome. Hi. I'm not so good at the whole caretaking thing. They're fine. They're knocked out, probably.
I think you've done more than what is needed. Or more than enough.
What can I do for you, princess?
I'm looking to procure just a map to get a general idea of some distances.
A map.
I'm
Right.
specifically an atlas of sort. Not just a map of Hyrule, but of, the known lands of this world.
Ah, yes. A map, an atlas. The distinction is not lost on me, princess. They start looking around the room. I will find that in the kind of shape that it would be in, like a flat
Dude, it's okay if you do not know what it is. I can.
I'm gonna be honest. I don't know what an atlas even looks like.
Okay. So an atlas is usually a series of maps.
Like a book.
Sometimes, yes. They'll usually have, yes, sometimes like a small book, or just it'll look like a booklet, but it'll really just be a very large map that folds out.
Oh, I know where books are. Hold on. I'll go find it. I'll go get it real quick. It won't take me anything at all.
I could follow.
As they rush off immediately over toward the area that Matilda had mostly stayed in, the little small little library area that is over off to the east. As you call out to them that you can follow, you do hear behind that there is a small, finally. You look back as you see moving on the bed, Modeus goes and shifts himself off, putting his legs off to the side.
You probably shouldn't be moving, Mr. Modeus.
I'm not gonna take a chance now that she's not in here to be able to move. Every time I try, she puts me back on the bed.
Oh, I thought you were feigning sleep.
I was, in the end. Like I said, every time I get up, she just throws me back. It's good to see you again, Polo.
Yes, it is good to see that you're...
Better ways than last. I had heard from some of the others who were knocked out that apparently there was a doppelganger of me at one point.
Yes.
I hope I didn't cause you any trouble.
No trouble at all. We were able to quickly figure it out and dispose of it.
Good. Well, if you're looking for a map or an atlas, I'm sure she'll be able to find it. We have plenty of different kinds of maps in that room. Demons come from all over, after all. We come here essentially to share knowledge and whatnot whenever we do all come together.
That's why I came here. I was confident that whether it be during Gorthos's time or in Father's time owning this manor, that they would have a good map layout of the north.
She just has to flip through all the books that don't have pictures. Or, I guess, flip through the ones that do have pictures and find which one. Shouldn't take her long. That being said, he looks over to the other two that are laying on the bed and looks back over to you. You mind if I get out of here?
Yes, of course. It does not overexert you to move, does it?
To be honest, I've been in a position where I couldn't move for the past little while. It's been either up on that wall or inside that cell. Stretching my legs is probably a lot needed at the moment. He looks to you. Thank you for worrying about me.
Oh, of course. You all took such good care of us while we stayed here.
And I'll continue to do so as long as you call this place home.
Thank you again, Mr. Modeus. You still have to keep your promise to me after all. You still haven't shared your recipes.
It can get a little complicated for what it essentially is. I mean, whenever I would ever tell anybody about them before, it's mostly people be that much effort for soup. It's more than that.
It can't have as much effort as a stew.
Well, if you have some noodles rolling around you, maybe, but it mostly goes into the preparation more than the actual cooking.
Oh, I see. Well, I look forward to learning how to make it.
And I look forward to hearing about the mini stews of the north. Especially the complicated ones. He stands up. As he does, he sort of gives a bit of a wobble, but he does straighten himself up rather easily. I owe you a debt that I hardly believe I can repay. So, my recipes are but a small thing that I could teach you.
There is no debt to be repaid, Mr. Modea.
Well, if there is no debt, then it would be my honor to at least serve you, since you are going to be the ruler of us after all, right?
Possibly.
Possibly? You still don't know?
Well, there is the factor that I am still too young. And...
Well, eventually then.
But right now I wish to give the true final decision to my brothers. I am sure that this journey they have come to learn and make amends with many a thing, and they are not the same as when I had left home.
Are you?
I'd like to think I have changed for the better in many a way.
Change is natural. And as long as you believe it is for the better, then good.
I feel like Mother would hardly recognize me if I saw her now. But I won't know until I find out.
If there's ever anything you need of me, or probably anybody here at the manor, you need just ask. If there's anything that we can help you with as far as, I don't know, learning anything you might want to know. And I know for a fact that at least me and Astaroth are wanting to make our way north after you and your brothers take home. Not sure about these two. Haven't got to talk to the real one of him in a while. Motions over toward Lucifer.
Well, I'll try not to impose on them.
They sort of come with this place. Either way. He starts making his way over toward the main exit. As the two of you stand listening, you do note that there is a rather loud pelting and shifting of books coming from the opposite side of the hall.
Oh, I hope she's not making too much of a mess.
And if she is, she'll clean it up. She's the only one that can.
Mm,
I would, but I'm
I should-
injured, you know.
I should go check on her. More so to also give you chance to escape.
I'll be making my way to the baths then.
Mm.
I could use a good one.
Mhm.
As you would make your way to go to Astaroth, eventually getting in there and noting that half of the shelves at this point have been just sort of left off into the floor. Eventually you do go through and you are able to find a map of sorts. When it comes to an atlas of this place, obviously I don't have one, so I can't give it to you.
Yeah.
But you are able
she
to
just-
find a good enough representation of the lands around Hyrule, as well as the entirety of the continent that you guys are staying on.
Yeah.
And upon finding something like that, you can use it however it is you seem to wish. Ah. Mhm.
No, she just as she gets that, she just thanks Astaroth for her efforts and then goes to find a table to study the map before resting for the day.
I will say that whenever you do go to sit down at a table, it is rather difficult to study it at the moment with the exhaustion that is coming over you. However, you can
Yeah.
continue your looking upons in the morning as well.
Yeah, she'll give it a couple glances, notice her eyes getting a little blurry, and it's just like,
Oh, well, I guess. Well, maybe for the morrow.
and then take Orion and go to bed.
Okay. We will then go from there over to Ronan.
Hi.
Ronan, you make your way back over toward where Jason, Matilda, and Kuro are. You do note that after Link had left, Matilda has gone back to their initial clinging on to Jason, with Kuro just sort of sitting over by the bird, giving a wave over to you. As you return, you have the floor.
Hey, Jason.
Hello, Ronan. Sorry for being gone as long as I have apparently been.
It's not your fault.
I've got sort of caught back up on a little.
Yeah. Yeah, I was kind of hoping to talk to you about some of that stuff. He kind of like looks over at like Matilda and Kuro, like,
You gonna take her away from me?
just for like, a little bit, a few minutes.
As Jason looks over to Matilda, I'll be right back, princess. You're like kind of that. Bleh. They smile and they stand over with you. Let's go somewhere private then.
Yeah.
There's a place just above us where I was usually going about playing my ocarina, if you'd like.
Yeah, let's do that.
You guys head up to the top of this place, over toward one of the much higher little almost balcony areas where the stairs and makeshift ladders and bridges would go to. Upon getting up to the top, the very tip top, you would find that while sound probably carries decently well in this place, usually it would take a different kind of sound. You definitely feel like your music could probably carry a lot further than your talking up here.
Okay.
As you would get up there and as Jason would sort of go and step upon the main area, looking over the side of the ledge before looking back to you. Go right ahead. Though there are a couple things that I can assume, but I don't Go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, no, this is no less awkward for me, trust me. So how much have you been filled in on?
A little bit by mostly Link, me, Link, them, and then what bits of crying I've got from Matilda. Apparently, I sort of don't really exist, kind of.
Well, I wouldn't put it like that.
I'm sort of just Matilda, but lost to the Lost Woods a bit. It's weird to say that, because I don't feel like I'm Matilda at all. The princess is so much different than me. I respect her and I love learning more about her, but she isn't me.
Yeah.
But there really isn't much of a me at this point.
I mean, there's the me that I'm talking to right now.
Yeah.
The you that I'm talking to right now.
And the you that I'm talking to, who I said a lot of really big embarrassing things to and regret it and am cringing about it at the moment.
Well, sorry to make the problem worse then, because that's kind of what I wanted to talk about.
Yeah.
So
Go ahead.
So, do you know where that came from? Really? No idea, or?
So, back whenever I told you and eventually also told Gorthos a little bit of it, I guess the biggest thing that came to mind whenever I was still losing myself is whenever I woke up, probably as Matilda, I guess the thing that I latched onto the most was my instrument that I woke up with. They pull out the Ocarina of Time. Whenever I woke up with this, back whenever I was probably still her, I guess I must have tried playing those songs, or the ones that I heard at the time, and I must have been decently good at it. I don't know, but jumbled memories, things I didn't experience but maybe told her.
Things
They
that...
look down from where they're at. Did you know that before, was his name Vati? Was that him?
Yeah.
Before he attacked this place, me and the princess, we actually spent a lot of time here. On this area and the one just below it down there.
I think I remember seeing you a few times. Yeah.
I was wanting to protect the princess with everything that I possibly could, and it was really fun to be around them. We spent days together, almost a week, maybe even longer, whenever we were all preparing things. And I guess she must have had just as much fun as I was having, because she was able to remember all of that. The Lost Woods takes a lot from you, and it's supposed to eventually take your life as well. They say that any children that get lost in there get turned into skull kids, and any adults that get lost there get turned into stalls. Maybe I was on the verge of that before this gave something to me, and maybe the memories that I had, I just sort of clung on to as much as I could. maybe even just started justifying them. I remember seeing a man in the forest. I remember the one that taught me these songs, or the ones that played with me, was Ronan. Maybe it's still really odd for me to say it, but maybe I just made it all up. They sort of bring their hand up and wipe their face from, again, sitting over a little bit ahead of you on the side.
He'll move up and sit down next to her.
Maybe I didn't really have a family at the time, but I'd like to think that me clinging on to those hopes and those thoughts was how I was able to survive in there. Maybe it's because I was clinging to those hopes and thoughts that I wasn't able to pull the Master Sword until I ended up trying to move past them. I'm not sure why the sword eventually let me pull it, but maybe it's just fate, or time fixing itself, or maybe something in me finally clicked and I decided to leave the forest. Decided to leave it before it killed me. I'm sorry, Ronan.
For what?
For making everything so confusing and weird. For, I don't know, telling you that you were my dad at one point. So weird.
I mean, while it was weird and confusing,
You've been a really good friend to me. You've played music with me. You've hung out with me. We've did a lot together, and I really appreciate it.
I appreciate you playing with me. I appreciate everything you've done. And I guess a question that I have is, do those memories, those, made up memories, he does like little air quotes, do they still feel real?
For the time being, I don't know if I can get rid of them. I don't know where they came from, but now that I know that they're wrong, I'm hoping that I can get past them. I don't know. Because unfortunately, I only just now learned all of this. It's only been a few hours. It all still feels real to me, but I'm sure that eventually I'll understand.
Well, he'll put his hand on her shoulder. If whatever you choose to accept as your reality, that's your choice to make. And if you find that you can't let go of what you remember, then I mean, I can't promise it'll be the same as you remember, but I'll be there for you.
You're not gonna be able to get rid of me anymore. You guys traveled throughout all of time to find me. You're stuck with me now.
I wouldn't have it any other way.
Thank you for saving the princess, and for saving Link, and for saving me.
Yeah,
I
don't
guess
mention
I
it.
should only thank you for one, since we're all sort of the same.
Eh, you're
Thank you for
different people
saving
at
me
this
3
point.
times.
You're welcome.
I'm not sure where Link went. I'm pretty sure at some point he wanted to grab me and Matilda and go and have all of us see Zelda at the same time, because it'd be really funny. And it sounds pretty funny. But they look off toward the expanse of space between them and the opposite side of this place. Until then, if you ever wanna, do you wanna play some more?
I'd love that. And you know, I actually did have an idea. It's good that you brought that up.
Hmm?
I have an idea for a new song. Would you like to help me with it?
Yeah, of course. I kind of am at the limits of everything that I learned from you / helped you with, so something new might be fun.
Alrighty then. He'll pull out his violin and he'll
Immediately die.
Yeah.
You pull out your violin, at which point you sort of wince a bit, and they
Ow.
look to you.
Right.
How about I play tonight, and we start working on it tomorrow?
That's probably a good idea.
As they bring the ocarina to their lips, they begin playing the Song of Healing, hoping that the people here all hear it and are somewhat soothed by the melody. As the Song of Healing goes through the entirety of this place, there is a bit of a from the bird. But I think with that, we're going to move on to Donu. Yeah, I remembered you wanted to make another song. I remembered.
I forgot. Fuck you.
Donu.
Yeah.
You find your way back, following after where you had seen Link go and hoping that you're following the area correctly, because they could have went anywhere. They could have went all kinds of different places, but you do follow the majority of everyone back to the main area, back to the main house. As you do find that there is a Link up on the top floor of the area. You find that there is also a Halfin and a June seemingly up there as well. You find that both Ellen and Riva are just sort of sitting there. And again, it's very easy at that point to find out where Link went, which means you're decently sure you know where Zelda is, probably right inside the room that is where they are. As you approach, June looks over to you. Oh, welcome back.
Donu.
Donu, right. I thought your name was Gorthos.
He is for the moment gone.
I just told you about this. Sorry.
I am not offended by it.
Good. You are Donu then.
That's right.
That's going to be confusing.
Why?
There are many Donu.
I am the Donan.
Thee, then.
Yes.
Oh, that's going to be
Yes,
even more
the-
confusing. How?
I agree. How? I still have fun.
Link looks over towards you. You here to see Zelda?
if she's awake.
She was awake the last time I went in there. I have given a small bit of information to them. However, they are somewhat overwhelmed, so I stepped out.
Overwhelmed.
I mentioned what happened, at least a small bit of what happened to Gorthos. Whatever I could get out before she, again, felt overwhelmed. They knew that I wouldn't joke about that, and, well, if she lets you in, have you thought about how you want to say the things you say? Or do the things you do?
Yes. But only if she will allow me to speak. Were it possible to take a different form, I would.
They make their way over to the door. They then knock upon it. Goddess? Zelda, there you go. Someone's here to speak with you. Donu? Right. Let him in. Link motions toward the door.
He just nods to Link and just walks in and closes it behind him.
You see Zelda sitting in the bed, not laying, not anything of that nature. They just sort of are sitting there. They look over towards you. There is a moment where you see the understanding go across their face. There was a bit of recognition and then immediate disrecognition going across them. Welcome, Donu. Hero of the Donu.
A title I'm still getting used to.
You have been brought up to speed on what you have done, correct? You are able to give quite a lot of, well, hope and a lot of understanding to those of your race who wish to step out from their shackles. They idolize
more than
you.
I could have. I have noticed it is more than I could ever have dreamt of.
Seeing a hero fighting against any kind of oppression until their very dying breath would leave that sort of impression on those.
Indeed, and I mean to do so again. And perhaps this is an undying breath. In any case, I understand my presence can be distressing, and I apologize.
I am not distressed about your presence, Donu. I know that you're not him. Don't worry. Link is overprotective of me. I'm sort of like a bit of the only family he has left. Hopefully he'll see the people in his current mortal life as family as well. But either way.
I see. Well,
I'm well enough to know that you're not him. Don't worry. Whatever form you may take, you will never be him. You are Donu, a great and vast hero who I was watching as well, by the way. I seen everything whenever I was in the Sacred Realm. I feel silly that it took me this long to really notice, but a lot of the bones, the remains that Gorthos used, perhaps it was I who chose them for him. Perhaps it was I who, when I looked upon them and gazed upon them enough, my very presence might have left some kind of imprint on you, and at that point I am sorry if I gave you any kind of unrest after your life?
What happened after my death, I do not know. But I lived my life without regret. And I continue to do so now. You know of our plan to resurrect Gorthos and defeat Ganon in the same swoop.
I know of your attempts, and I know most of your ideas upon doing so, yes.
From
I'm
your
not
vast knowledge,
sure.
from your omniscience, is this viable?
I
There are
cannot
not many
say
gods I can ask.
I cannot say that I am omniscient any longer. I can't say that that imprint of me has ever truly left, but I don't think that there is anything that I could say that would be able to completely still your heart, champion. But I have seen countless times Link rise to the occasion and defeat Ganon. The one that is in front of us may be the most powerful I've ever seen. But there is always a hero, a demon, and a light. And as long as that light and that hero are together, the demon will be vanquished. They may return again at a later date, but they will always be stopped. The other part of the plan, I'm unsure of. I'm unsure of finding a way to truly banish whatever hatred or malice that is reviving Ganon all of these times. I don't know if it truly can be destroyed, especially by something that he is now a part of. I don't know. I don't know if there is something out there that can truly ever actually destroy him entirely. But whenever I was the mortal goddess, and whenever I hope to return to that one day, the one thing that I loved to bestow in anybody that I could was hope. So until it is proven otherwise, I will hope that this or whatever else comes into focus before the end will be enough to finally let this world see peace. At least from him.
Obviously, our hopes are aligned. Thank you for your insight on this. Our plan will be unchanging, obviously.
There is nothing that I
We
would
will
have said
hope.
to you that could have changed it. Even if I
No.
would have told you that it would not work, you would still do it.
Yes. You must have hope, but I suppose you've already answered some of my other questions. This Ganon is enigmatic to even you.
I do not know how he obtained the same power, the same resurrection that I gave to Link. I don't know what ties him to that. And because I don't know what it is, I cannot take it away, even if I were to return to the sacred realm as I've thought about doing. Even if I were to do it, I do not think that I could remove it.
Perhaps it would take the power of the Triforce.
No, that's not fair to you.
Speak, please. Now's the time to worry about one's fairness to another. The world is at stake, Mortal
It
Goddess.
has nothing to do with the world. I guess it could slightly, but I feel that I'm endangering us all.
What do you mean?
Undoubtedly, I could provide more help if I was in the sacred realm.
Hmm.
If I leave this mortal form and return to the sacred realm, undoubtedly I could do something to aid. Maybe give power to the Master Sword, or rise up the powers that all of those who have the Triforce have. I could do more than I could down here at any given rate. And I feel that I don't want to. There's a part of me that wonders if I ever do want to return.
Hmm.
If Gorthos is truly gone, I wonder if I would rather not spend eternity out there. Maybe just stay here.
I cannot dictate to you what your choice should be. Not because you are a goddess, but just as me, and so many others, you are mortal now. Mortals always make their own fates. It's the gift and the curse we've all been given. Though I would ask, why do you feel that you cannot provide aid here? Are you without power? Or are you without yourself? And as I see it, you would know better than anyone what you can offer. Goddess or not, we need all the allies we can muster.
I worry that any aid I would give you would be completely canceled out by the Triforce of Wisdom.
Then we will help overcome the powers of the Triforce of Wisdom. There's a simple answer to that. And I'm not sure why you did not already know.
You do speak like him a bit.
Hmm.
Only with you, there are no flowers to your words. So I know that what you say is what you mean.
Hmm.
With him, there's a bit of a fluster that I can do to get him to say what I want.
Hmm.
It's
And this is effective.
effective enough. It's entertaining.
Hmm. Perhaps I should try to employ flowers in my speech. I am not very good at botany.
I believe
Perhaps
it
I
might be
can-
best for you to learn how to tend to those flowers in others' speech.
Hmm.
It's a lot more fun on this side.
I must take your word for this.
Thank you, Dono.
So
I don't know what happened exactly to Gorthos. But I do have hope that the plan that you all have is true. And I also have hope that if that plan does succeed, and that if Gorthos does come back, my hope is that you do not disappear because of it. My hope is that you're able to go forth in this new form of yours and live out your life seeing just how much you impacted others. Whether returning to your tribes or, heck, gathering them if you'd like. I'm sure that each of them would love to see you.
Perhaps. And it is a nice thought. Though, the idea of seeing the consequences of my actions, through weal or woe, was never the point of why I sacrificed myself. I knew that I'd never see it. At least I thought I wouldn't. Atalanta was the same. Douglas, I don't think he ever thinks that far. But whether I am taken away or not, we'll see. I'm happy to go if that was what needs to happen. I've lived my life. I've given up my life. And I will fight with this unlife until I am nothing. It's the least I can do. To repay you, and Gorthos, and all these allies that I find myself surrounded by.
Thank you, Donu.
I thank you for your time. Now rest. We all must do so. Apparently. I am not tired. But I think that's just this form.
There are
You
more
do not have
forms of
this luxury.
tired than physical. You should try to sit and be with your thoughts. There's
I
a bath
usually am.
downstairs.
A bath. I will indulge in one of those. It has been a lifetime since my last. Rest easy, mortal goddess.
Zelda,
Zelda.
you as well, V.
I see.
See?
Perhaps-
Taking the flowers, spinning them to your like. Having fun. Do you see?
Yes. I will see if I can incorporate this tomorrow.
With that, you make your way out. As you would make your way down to potentially have a bath, we will go to Marco.
Wow.
Marco.
Yeah.
You would go up toward where the temple would be, looking off and about at the different areas of Spectacle Rock. You see small tents and small settlements a little bit away from where you are. As you would do, you would follow those tents and settlements around until you find what appears to be the majority of the King's Guard that is there. As you would find them, you would see that most of them, while they are off and about, they do seem to be watching down below. You would look down over the cliffs of Spectacle Rock, looking at the long spiral movements that would happen of what appear to be torches and people going away from Spectacle City. The guards leading people away, and just in case this place does become some kind of battleground. As you do eventually look off and about toward the different places, toward the different larger tents that you can find. You could easily see the largest of which you're decently sure the king would be in.
Mm-hmm.
So most likely that isn't where Hosier is, unless Hosier wants to be there.
Unless Hosier wants to be there, but he doesn't seem like the type that would stick by the king's side throughout this whole bit, because he isn't like...
Oh, especially with a fucking weird, fucking crazy super darkness box.
Yeah, he definitely wouldn't do that. There's a part of me that would have expected him to be all the way back in Castletown where his hole in the wall is, but I doubt he'd be that far.
You're decently sure that he had said he wanted to go toward the king, but that being said, there are other areas about. There are other tents and such that are off in this place. The first thing you would find as you begin looking around, however, is not anyone of too much note. In fact, only you would even notice this person being there at all. As you see, what is obvious to you with your amount of training.
Ah, the Roki clone.
What appears to be a clone of Roki appearing before you, as he would be looking off and about, going through the shadows around you. Ah, welcome.
Hello, Roki. I see that you're patrolling the place.
Patrolling is a term for it, I suppose. Mostly the Mies that are around here are watching after each of the entryways in case the king needs to take them. I heard that my other charge is downstairs.
That she is.
Then why, say, are you up here? Looking for anyone in particular? Is it me?
I was actually looking for Hosier.
Ah, my second guess would have been my sister. Hosier.
I see.
What do you need him for?
He is my friend, and during the battle, a lot of things happened. A lot of people got knocked out, and I haven't been able to check in with him after what had happened.
Well, there is a something you should know about Hosier. Currently, my sister is watching him extremely closely.
Why ever could that be?
Well, you see, once he got into his tent, which is over there, by the way, he motions like 3 tents down. Once he got to his tent, he started hyperventilating and pulling out a box.
I see.
We thought for a moment that he might have been a duplicate of himself and was planning on bombing people, but it doesn't seem like it is a bomb.
It is not a bomb. I gave it.
See, you saying you gave it to him really doesn't help me with the idea that it could be a bomb.
I know. It is. It's essentially.
Secret even to me? Would it help you? Would it help you if you knew I wasn't real?
Technically, it would, but also I know that you can relay the information between your clones, so it's
quite
like I'm still
easily.
Understand that it's just a it's just a spark of power. It isn't supposed to be a bomb or anything.
I see.
And I'm assuming that he is trying to decide if he's going to use it now or not to strengthen himself.
So not explode the king.
No, he is very loyal.
That's why we haven't gone in there yet. We knew that for a fact. All right. Well, I'll collect my sister. You can make your way in as soon as I get her as far away from there as possible. And
Please do.
Let me know if anything explodes.
If you really need to distract your sister, I'll let you know. Because I don't know how much they've told the king. Matilda and Jason are technically the same person, so you two were never wrong. Time and things are a huge shenanigans in the Lost Woods, apparently.
Well, that could be a good dinner conversation.
That it could.
If you let me in on that, I guess I'll let you in on one secret as well. He leans down. I'm actually the real Roki. You would have never known.
Yes.
You see him fade away as if he was the fake Roki, but you're still not sure if that means he was actually the real or fake Roki.
God, I wish I had the ability to learn how to do that kind of shit. That's so fun.
As he disappears, you make your way several steps closer toward the far off little tent that you were that was spoke of. You do note that as soon as you get there, you do hear a slight bit of a scuffle about a tent or so away that you can only recommend, or you can only think of as two Sheikah interacting with each other. Not sure if anyone
else notices.
Obviously, no one else notices. But you do find as soon as you make your way toward the tent, there is definitely the voice of a hosier inside. But
dogs everywhere. Oh no. Hosier brought his puppies here. I'll just give it a moment just in case.
Dogs.
Yeah,
Mother and dogs.
Mother and dogs.
Anyway, what were you saying?
Hosier, it's Marco. Can I come in?
Yeah, come right in. What are you doing here?
I came to check on you.
I'm perfectly fine.
After what happened when I once again knocked everybody out because I kept attacking the witch, I wanted to make sure that you were all right.
That kind of thing isn't going to be too bothersome to me at this point. Nothing a few doses of potion couldn't fix whenever I got here. I'm fine. How is everything
fine.
back there?
Everything back there seems to be all right. The only thing that of note that I can say is that we've lost Gorthos. But we have the spirits that inhabited the bodies before him, so that's something. We have at least a plan to try to get Gorthos back, but...
I was around for the, well, return of everyone, so I do know of that much at the very least.
I'm sorry, a lot's happened.
I understand.
You don't even know the half of it.
What could have possibly happened in the few hours that I've left?
I'll save that in a little
Marco,
bit,
it hasn't been. Marco, it's been 3 hours. Marco, it hasn't even been 3 hours.
I know it hasn't been 3 hours. I am just as shocked at what has happened as you will be when you hear about it in a little bit, but I do want to make sure that you're all right, because Birdie told me that you were kind of panicking in here.
Panicking?
Yes.
Yes.
You're deciding on if you should use it or not, aren't you?
No.
You've made up your mind?
Already decided.
Mm.
The fact of the matter is, we were keeping it for the future, but also we were keeping it away just in case they would try to use it for resurrecting this monster that we all were trying to stop. And whether I saw him or not, he has given all of you a fair freak out about it. I don't see any reason to not use it.
Good. I'm glad.
I'm not sure exactly what it will do, or if this kind of power could even be used against that creature. Whether it's useful at all, I mean, I'm sure he probably has a couple of minions or whatever that I could probably take out, even if I can't use it on him himself.
There are plenty of minions that are on the move from what we've seen.
There we go. At worst, I will use it upon the minions of said creature. I'm not my brother. And I'm not you. I can't look at things like this and just go with it. As much as I wish I was like that. As much as I wish I was like the two of you. I feel like people like you are destined for greater things like that. That you're always the ones that are holding back the ever-present darknesses that are around.
I don't know per se if I really am
I don't
destined for
think
that.
you
I
have
think
any say in it after having that. He motions over toward the Master Sword.
I mean, I did have the goddess help in pulling it out, so I don't really know. For the longest time, Hosier, I've always imagined before all of this happened that eventually my story was going to end with me to a trap I didn't notice in a dungeon. The reason why I'm able to just do what I do is that I don't think too hard. I just know that I want to be a great adventurer, a great splunker, and get that kind of recognition. I was never really prepared for becoming a champion, but I still went with it because I just didn't think about it, you know?
Exactly. I'm someone who's been wanting something like that. I try to get it, but it isn't there for me. You and my brother, you don't do anything against what your own thoughts put in front of you. And yes, sometimes that leads to your demise. It would have definitely led to his, but now I have a sister instead.
Congratulations on the new sister.
It's very weird.
There's been a lot
If
of
our
weird
parents
things
were alive,
happening.
it would be very strange to tell them. I have an uncle. That's going to be very weird to tell him.
Hmm. And
I
now,
don't have that same spark that the two of you have, but if this power can help me defeat even one more minuscule bokoblin in this fight, then I will take it. If I can take out a single moblin with this power, a Lizalfos, a Wolfos, a Stall, anything, then it will be worth it. That is what I came to the conclusion of.
that is great resolve, Hosier. Hopefully in these coming weeks we can help you figure out how to use it. Train with it a bit. Make sure that it's ready.
Oh, you will.
That's been the plan.
You are not putting a dangerous dark box in front of me, letting me open it and then leave. You are helping.
That is true. I'm going to help you with that.
Good. I am going to rest. And while I rest, I believe I will see what this holds for me. Thank you for coming to check on me.
Of course.
I made my decision before you showed, but it is good to hear that my resolve does not fall flatly. It is good to know that even if it's you, you think it's a good plan.
That's what I like about you, Hosier.
There's probably a tent around here if you want to find yourself one. You look worse off than I do.
I know, I think this tent's pretty comfy already. As he just lays down on the ground. Yeah, it's pretty comfy in here. I think I'll stay.
Oh, all right. I'll go find another tent.
No, you don't have to go. You're big enough for 2 people. Come on.
He looks around. I guess you can stick around while I open the evil box.
There you go. You know, just in case anything happens, I may as well be around when you do that, right?
Hmm.
I have to take responsibility and all that.
Your words are correct, but I don't like them. There's something else beneath them. Treasure-seeking gleam. Criminalistic smirk.
There it is.
Narrows eyes.
Even after all this time, I love that about what you do and what you think of me.
You will find that while he does do exactly what he said he was going to do, throughout the night, right as he's finally getting ready to do things, right as you guys are talking through the idea of it, Hosier's still not really getting entirely why you are here. Probably just focusing on the box thing right at the moment. He opens it. You see what appears to be this small, dark, almost flower-like object inside of the box. On the outside of the petals, there is a very dark, purplish, bluish shade. On the inside, you see almost a strong pinkish. The very center of the flower, of the inside of the bulbs, you can see almost the exact color of malice. He would take it to himself. It would feel almost ethereal to any sort of touch. As he would bring it to him, it would find its way through his skin. Eventually, as this strange bulb finds itself into him, he would look to become completely exhausted. He would fall upon the area around him. You would help him toward one of these small cots. And he would drift off to sleep. I hate to cut things short.
No worries.
But I do think that that is where we need to end things for tonight, because I was given some information during stream, and I'd like to go and help my mother perform a duty.
Oh,
She does need me.
A short game
She
this
has-
time. That's fine.
It's about 30 minutes shorter than the minimum time we usually have.
Slightly below average. It's
Yeah.
fine.
I can't say everything about it, but there is some missing funds. May or may not
Okay.
have things to do with family
Ooh.
stuff. I don't know.
okay. No, we don't have to. We don't have to go
Yes.
into it on stream.
I am going to end the session right here. We will come back next time with the beginning of the next day, with everybody getting through any sort of trainings, as well as any sort of craftings, any sort of buyings, any sort of things they need to do. Playing things there. Hope everybody had enjoyed. Until next time, like always, later days.
Bye bye.
Hey.
But